Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this occasion, honorable members of the University Governing Council, principal officers of the university, deans and directors, heads of department, all professors and distinguished members of Senate, esteemed academic colleagues, other members of the congregation, and staff of the university. Your Royal Highnesses and Chiefs here present, highly esteemed relations and friends, distinguished guests, great Nigerian students, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. An inaugural lecture is an academic obligation which a person appointed or promoted to the exalted position of professor is required to fulfill in the course of his or her career in the university. Therefore, it is an opportunity for the learned professor so honored to give account of the research effort to the university community and the general public in a way that will benefit mankind. An attempt usually made to relate the subject area to general societal or national needs and goals. This occasion of the university's 15th inaugural lecture has therefore offered me such a unique opportunity to furnish my colleagues, the university community, and the general public with the account of my research work to date, how life experiences have sharpened my research focus and future research interests. It is with the above objectives that the title of this inaugural lecture, Bearing Notes, the psychosocial activity of the student in an individualized world, was conceived. In the course of my academic journey in the field of psychology, life experiences have become a tool for me to find explanations of the human with the aim of providing solutions to human psychosocial complexities. Hence, the squirrel, the bushy-tailed rodent found all over the world, becomes a metaphor in this lecture for our understanding of human behaviors. This has been my research finding. Going through adversity, the concept of security and the norms. I was born in Ghana to Nigerian parents from Ofainbora State. I was growing up in that country when down on my parents that they had to relocate back home. So we all returned to Nigeria. On getting to Nigeria, my dad found that the house they have been sending money home to build, which is people claim have been completed, was actually at the initial stage. He was so sad that he broke down in tears. The only option was to use all the money he had on him, being the proceeds from his houses he sold in Ghana, to complete the building so we could have a place called our own. All his life savings were exhausted. Therefore, he became a subsistence farmer just to feed his family. At this point, my mother had to follow and stay with him where he got land to farm, far away from our hometown. Things became difficult to the extent that as a primary school pupil, I had to work as a laborer and as a bus conductor to raise money to pay school fees. This I did throughout my primary school days till I completed the first school living certificate. I was offered admission at the Baptist Grammar School, but the person who collected the admission letter on my behalf did not release it, because to him, who will sponsor you? At least he should have released it since it was addressed to me. Therefore, I could not honor the admission. What else will a small boy begin at home? My dad negotiated with one Alaji, a businessman staying in Osogbo, to have me as his houseboy. Alaji had 17 wives, and so I had to work for all of them if I needed to eat. One day I woke up crying when I looked at my life. What would I do as a houseboy? I was not being trained to be independent. It was a Saturday in December of that year. The following day I told Alaji I was not interested in the job anymore. He threatened not to pay my monthly stipend, which my parents asked him to be keeping for me and pay once at the end of every year. He took me back to Ofafowosogo and told my parents that since I did not complete the 3 years, they both agreed he would not pay me anything, and he did not. There, 25 months were wasted. My parents did not protest against a rich man. Luckily, after 3 months of waiting, I got a job at Animal Educational Books in Badar as a cleaner, not office attendant anyway. However, something happened one day which I can never forget. A new clerical officer who had been duty in less than 2 weeks was in his office when he had epilepsy attack. Everyone in his office ran outside until he regained his consciousness. I, the cleaner, was invited to pack the epileptic saliva that littered the floor. This happened on 3 occasions until the management of the company disengaged the young man on health grounds. What a wonderful and everlasting experience. Relief finally came my way when Ibadan Baptist Grammar School offered me admission again. In the second school, not that it was so small, but God was with me, and I passed all the subjects I registered for the West African Examinations Council. While at the University of Ibadan, it was so bad to the extent that I wore the same jacket and trousers that I used in my secondary school for days, for another 10 years. In fact, it was a commercial barber. I was a commercial barber in the house of residence. I felt bad today somebody reminded me that he had been seeing me in the same clothes for over 10 years, which was correct. He advised me to go and throw it away. It was as if he reminded God about my days. Years later, at that same spot, another person asked me, "You too, did every day you buy new clothes? You are just changing clothes at will." Therefore, in those days when I used to follow my late father to the farm during holidays, I remember the period I would get so tired that I would climb the tree to rest. That time, I used to watch students jump from one tree to another in search of nuts. I became interested in the activities to the extent that many a time I devoted more time to watching them than working on the farm. But the more I've learned about squirrels, the more I've realized that they are stupid. The squirrels promote germination by hiding nuts far from the trees. In warmer months, when food is more abundant, squirrels hunt nuts for the winter. They dig small holes in the ground to bury their food, to hide them for a later date. Although squirrels store food in different locations throughout their regions, they do not always remember where to bury them. Uncovered nuts and seeds give way to germinating trees, which is why squirrels are known to play an important role in growing and maintaining forest populations. In fact, the squirrel at this activity, most of the time, either hiding nuts or attempting to find them later. Therefore, most of the trees in the wild are the result of the squirrel's failure to find most of the nuts they bury. This probably explains that Kokola Yoruba idea. Ọjọ́ orí jẹ ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́, ọjọ́ tí ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ló pọ̀. In spite of the squirrel's claim for food satisfaction, the number of days that it grows hungry are many. One is challenged by wild forest. It still goes hungry in spite of the fact that it saves for the rainy day. And how this act of it has turned out to benefit mankind. Help in an individualized work. Mr. Vice Chancellor, from what I passed through while growing up and my experience as a psychologist, I have discovered that what sustains humanity is the act of kindness extended to people. However, such a prosocial behavior may not necessarily be in anticipation of any form of reward, like the squirrel. How is this prosocial behavior connected with psychology as a field of study? What is psychology? The discipline of psychology has been defined in many different ways. According to Efoge Maliki and Efoge, 1995, Psychology is the scientific study of human and animal behavior and its mental processes. Afolabi and Lemon in 2003 defined psychology as a discipline that is involved in solving behavioral and attitudinal problems. The discipline has four major goals, which are to describe, explain, predict, and to control behavior and mental processes. From the several definitions and my research efforts, I wish to redefine psychology as the science that studies human and animal behavior with its mental processes and seeks to provide solutions to problems that arise from such behavioral processes. Areas of specialization in psychology. We have many areas of specialization in psychology. These include, but not limited to the following: social, brain science and cognitive, climate and environmental, clinical, counseling, developmental, forensic and public service, health, human factors and engineering, industrial and organizational, quantitative and psychometric, rehabilitation, sport and performance psychology and others. Social psychology, my area of specialization, uses psychological science to understand how we perceive ourselves in relation to the rest of the world and how this perception affects our choices, behaviors, and beliefs. It is the study of how individuals affect and are affected by other people and by their social and physical environments. Social psychologists, therefore, deal with the factors that lead us to behave in a given way in the presence of others. It is about the way these feelings, thoughts, beliefs, intentions, and goals are constructed and how such psychological factors in turn influence our interactions with others. What is prosocial behavior? Nature or nurture? Many scholars have defined prosocial behavior in various forms. Prosocial activities involve attention and assistance towards other people, display of love, loyalty, and service to the individual or group of people without expectation to get any reward in turn. In the view of Afolabi 2017 and 2013, prosocial behavior is any voluntary actions willingly enacted to help another individual or set of people. It refers to the activities that are conducted or planned to help individuals without expecting anything in return. Therefore, it includes behavior such as helping, sharing, or providing comfort to another. The concept of prosocial behavior have their roots in many religious doctrines. For example, one of the doctrines of the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. That is in Mark chapter 12 verse 31, Romans chapter 13 verse 9, Galatians chapter 5 verse 14, James chapter 2 verse 8. Some way, the story of the second Samaritan, good Samaritan who assisted an injured man in Luke chapter 10 verse 29 to 37 is always used by Christians to encourage people to help others. Even among animals, prosocial actions are frequently been observed. Why people help? Mr. Vice Chancellor, for this purpose of my academic inquiry into why people help, my research interest in the area of prosocial behavior can be categorized under the following areas. 1. Socio-demographic variables and prosocial behavior. Personality, traits, and prosocial behavior. Emotional intelligence and prosocial behavior. Perceived similarity, culture, and prosocial behavior. Gratitude and prosocial behavior. Socio-demographic variables in terms of gender, age, social class, and prosocial behavior. Socio-demographic characteristics include, for example, gender, age, education, migration background, and ethnicity, religious affiliation, marital status, household, employment, and income. Therefore, in my studies, I have concentrated on just 3 out of these, which are gender, age, and socioeconomic status. Based on stereotypic gender roles, females generally are expected and believed to be more responsive, empathic, and prosocial than males. whereas males are expected to be relatively independent and achievement-oriented. Therefore, cross-cultural works have verified that gender differences in prosocial responding are not limited to only a few cultures and be developed with age. In a study among Nigerian drivers, Afolabi and Idowu 2014 randomly selected 200 individuals who are either private or commercial drivers to participate in their study. The results show that the effect of gender on prosocial behavior was not significant among the participants. This could be as a result of the general aggressive behavior among Nigerian drivers. Therefore, despite the prevailing view that males are more prosocial than males, findings varies depending on the age of the actor and the type of prosocial behavior. Again, Oyencho and Afolabi 2018 found that age and gender have no significant effect on prosocial behavior among the sample of Nigerian police officers. However, in the study by Afolabi earlier in 2014, we found that age and gender have significant relationship with prosocial behavior among 294 undergraduates in Nigeria. The study found that age positively influences prosocial behavior among the students. The result revealed that the level of study of the students influences prosocial behavior. Socioeconomic status of individuals is also expected to influence their prosocial behavior. Lower class is characterized by fewer resources, greater exposure to trade, and a reduced sense of personal control. For these and other reasons, one would expect that individuals from lower socioeconomic status will engage in less prosocial behavior. Compared to the upper class individuals, those on the lower class have fewer economic resources, fewer educational opportunities, less access to social institutions, and subordinate rank in society relative to others. Afolabi in 2018 also examined how social class influences social behavior and found that lower class individuals demonstrated greater potentiality than individuals from upper class. This may be because high-income people spend a larger portion of their income on costly consumer goods like automobiles, and disproportionately less on assisting others in need. In nationwide surveys of charitable contributions in America, lower-income individuals give proportionally more of their incomes to charity than with their higher-income counterparts. Therefore, Afolabi 2018 concluded that behaving generously and helping those in need, lower-class individuals may promote trust and cooperation from others, thus ensuring that in times of hardship, their needs will also be met. Personality traits and prosocial behavior. Afolabi and Downs in 2013 defined personality as made up of the characteristic patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behavior that make a person unique. Thus, based on my interest, Mr. Vice, I have concentrated my researches on the Big Five personality traits and their relationship or effects on prosocial behavior. This is because, according to Afolabi and Ehige 2005, the Big Five is the most talked about personality theory. So personality traits are dimensions of individual differences in tendencies to show consistent patterns of thoughts, feelings, and actions. These traits shape how individuals direct their attention and activate specific goals. These 5 traits include neuroticism, which means individuals who are high in this trait tend to experience mood swings, anxiety, irritability, and sadness. Those low in these traits tend to be more stable and emotionally resilient. B. Extroversion. People here are more assertive, sociable, talkative, and higher participation rate in activities compared to introverts. Openness to experience. People who are high in this trait also tend to have a broad range of interests. They are curious about the world and other people and eager to learn. new things and enjoy new experiences. Agreeableness. People high on agreeableness are selfless, sympathetic to others, tend to help others, and tend to cooperate with others. Conscientiousness. This is defined as individual differences in tendencies to be purposive, to adhere to social norms and rules, and to be able to delay gratification. Individuals who score high on neuroticism are more likely than average to be moody and to experience such feelings as anxiety, worry, fear, anger, frustration, envy, jealousy, guilt, depressed mood, and loneliness. Emotional stability has been considered primarily with regard to the prediction of psychological disorder and very rarely in relation to prosocial behavior. Based on empirical rationale on why personality traits have consequential effects on important life outcomes. Johnson and Liu, 2018, investigated the mechanism by which neuroticism leads to less prosocial behavior. Social anxiety, empathy, social self-efficacy, self-esteem, and emotional intelligence were used as mediators. The results show that 1. There was a negative association between neuroticism and prosocial behavior. 2. Lower levels of social self-efficacy, emotional intelligence, perspective taking, and empathic concern will primarily account for the negative association between neuroticism and prosocial behavior. 3. Neuroticism might facilitate prosocial behavior via higher levels of personal distress. 4. The above-mentioned mediators completely mediated the effect of neuroticism on prosocial behavior. And the multiple mediation effect was not mediated by gender. The fact that if prosocial behavior does not require interpersonal interaction or the social interaction is less anxiety-provoking, the negative effect of neuroticism on prosocial behavior may disappear. Prosocial tendencies give rise to responsible and helpful behavior constructs that characterize agreeableness. Prosocial behavior requires self-regulation and self-control, constructs that define conscientiousness. Agreeableness and conscientiousness have been concurrently and respectively linked to prosocial behavior during adolescence. It was concluded that the construct of prosocial behavior overlaps considerably with the construct of agreeableness and conscientiousness. Taken together, the findings are consistent with the view that cooperative helpful behavior is uncharacteristic of aggressive antisocial individuals. Given their conceptual overlap, it is surprising that evidence ties prosocial behavior to agreeableness and conscientiousness. Another important factor in personality issues is self-efficacy, which refers to one's self-judgment of personal capabilities to initiate and successfully perform certified tasks or designated levels. Afolabi and Balogun, 2017, Afolabi and Okuzo, 2013. Individual differences in traits, values, and self-efficacy beliefs have been found to account for significant portions of variability in prosociality. Regarding the relationship between self-efficacy and prosocial behavior, Afolabi and Alade, 2015, just like Stonen and Grant, 2010, reported that self-efficacy is a strong predictor of prosocial behavior. In a study conducted by Grant and Gino, 2010, which investigated the role of self-efficacy in predicting prosocial behavior, their results shows that self-efficacy significantly predicted prosocial behavior. To confirm this, Afolabi and Owola, 2014, randomly selected 230 commercial bus drivers from different open parks in Ibadan. The result of the study revealed that self-efficacy has significant effect on the prosocial behavior of the drivers. Earlier, in 2013, Ugo and Oji, among the sample of Nigerian bank workers, also confirmed that individuals high in self-efficacy demonstrated high prosocial behavior. Therefore, self-efficacy delays, just like self-esteem, Afolabi 2014 contribute to prosociality and account for a significant portion of the Nigerians in the tendency to behave prosocially. Even though Baumeister, Lesicampo, and the World 2009 in their study found that self-efficacy is negatively related to social behavior. However, in the study by Afolabi in 2017 to test the relationship between the party concerns and some specific social behaviors, like helping individuals informally, the results showed that there was a significant correlation where the individual needing help was directly present. The findings indicate that self-efficacy is not an important foundation for planned helping decisions and decisions to help others who are not immediately present, such volunteering, charitable giving, and blood donation. In a similar study by Afolabi in 2018, among the sample of paramilitary personnel, he also confirmed the importance of self-efficacy in helping others. It was deduced from the findings of the study that belief in one's ability is an impetus to helping behavior. The study established that among those that are high in self-efficacy, it was found that they are also willing to help their colleagues, including those who may not seek for help. This is due to the fact that in the traditional African setting, people provide social support in time of difficulty and or joy. Such behaviors could be regarded as part of social expectancies. This is because social behavior in African context may be classified as intrinsic reward associated behavior, and it's done without any consideration of who the individual is. Emotional intelligence and prosocial behavior. Emotional intelligence are experienced in a wide range of styles. The prosocial behavior, Afolabi and Musa 2019, Afolabi 2013. Emotional intelligence is the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions to discriminate among them and use this information to guide one's thinking and actions. Individuals high on emotional intelligence prefer immediate gratification and exhibit self-control in order to optimize pleasure over their lifetime. Also, they display enlightened self-interest by engaging activities that are both social and pro-individual. Thus, emotionally intelligent individuals exhibit a high sense of self-interest through activities that are beneficial to the individuals themselves and the society in general. This is why Afolabi, Awujola, and Nomoli 2010 concluded that an individual's emotional intelligence is an indicator of how he or she perceives, understands, and regulates emotions. Findings suggest that low emotional intelligence is related to involvement in self-destructive behavior, such as alcohol abuse and cigarette smoking. Whereas higher emotional intelligence is related to positive outcomes, such as social behavior, parental warmth, and positive peer and family relations. For example, Afolabi et al. 2010 examines the influence of emotional intelligence and gender on job performance and job satisfaction among Nigerian police officers randomly selected from Eastern Area Command of Edo State. The results show that police officers who are of high emotional intelligence are more satisfied and perform better on their duties than those that are low on emotional intelligence. Afolabi 2013 investigated the influence of five-factor personality, emotional intelligence, and gender differences on social behavior among undergraduates in Nigeria. The results show that there was significant relationship among the variables of study. In the third step, the results show that emotional intelligence adds significant joint contribution to the overall prediction of social behavior. Culture, perceived similarity, and social behavior. Cultural differences may influence social behavior in that the person is likely to help, donate, or generally extend a positive gesture to a person based on cultural affiliation. The behavior is more or less collectivist than individualistic and based in the culture. Cultural differences in relation to social behavior are experienced differently between individualistic and collectivist societies. For instance, those living in the US is least likely to help someone in need than someone living in Australia, India, or Kenya. Cultural differences can be explained by different socialization practices that determine an individual's motive for prosocial behavior. Afolabi in 2014 investigated the role of psychosocial factors: religiosity, life satisfaction, perceived social, family type of residence, rural, urban, and cultural and ethnic differences of prosocial behavior among undergraduates. Results of the 4 hypotheses tested revealed that there was significant relationship among the benefits of study. Besides, there are significant individual contributions to prosocial behavior. Religiosity also mediated the relationship between life satisfaction, perceived social exclusion, and prosocial behavior. It was also found that respondents residing in the village were more prosocial than those living in the city. Also, cultural and ethnic differences significantly influence prosocial behavior. Although there are many gaps in the research findings to provide a definitive picture, there is nonetheless accumulating evidence that from a young age, children selectively act prosocially towards those who are members of their group. Even if the groups are arbitrarily defined and in some cases act antisocially towards members of other groups, children might not be selfish, but they seem groupish. Someone going and it is also associated with optimal functioning, resilient satisfaction with self, family, friends, community, and satisfaction with life overall. Somebody once told me that when you feed a dog for 3 days for social behavior, it will remember you for 3 years. But feed a human being for 3 years, you forget you in 3 days. This is especially common when they want you to continually feed them and their rewards or stoppage for a period. They begin to castigate and call you different names. This is one of the reasons, according to Afolabi 2009, why people don't help them. Other selfish individuals base their reason on the fact that helping another person to grow is like keep bringing up somebody to compete with your own children for the scarce resources in the future. In the sample of cadets in the Defense Academy, Afolabi 2019 found that gratitude was associated with better social integration, motivation to help others and contribute to society with increased life satisfaction and social behavior. In another study conducted by Afolabi and Abiris in 2019, among the sample of school teachers from 10 randomly selected schools in Akure, Ondo State, the results showed that gratitude significantly mediates for social behavior among the teachers. Therefore, experiencing gratitude to people who have been kind to us validates their effort and reinforces such behavior in the future. And gratitude motivates us to extend kindness in response to those who have been kind to us, but to others at work. Finally, research has shown that gratitude promotes relationship formation and maintenance of concern, and strengthens romantic relationship. That's according to Afolabi 2019. Thus, gratitude appears to help individuals find, remind, and bind to authentic relationship partner. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, based on this consideration, it will be reasonable to conclude that prosocial behavior is the result of a complex interaction of environmental, social, and individual factors. These factors play the most important role in whether an individual helps or not. Therefore, I conclude as follows. 1. Elderly people tend to be more prosocial than the younger ones. Though it may not be universal, women have also been found to be more willing to help than men. Thus, gender is a good predictor of prosocial behavior. 2. People from low socioeconomic class have also been found to be more prosocial than those from the high social status. In addition, people who live in small and medium-sized towns are more helpful than those who reside in the big towns and cities. Based on the relationship between the 5 factors of personality and prosocial behavior, it is concluded that agreeableness and openness to experience are positively associated with prosocial behavior. B. For mine and other studies, emotional intelligence is another important predictor of prosocial behavior. Individuals with high emotional intelligence also display high level of prosocial behavior. E. The culture and group to which an individual belongs can determine who they offer to help. Compared to members of individualistic cultures, members of interdependent cultures are more likely to help people they view as members of their in-group, and less likely to help people they view as members of an out-group. Gratitude is another important factor in prosocial behavior. People tend to render more assistance or help to individuals who appreciated and showed gratitude for the earlier help rendered to them. In fact, the Yorubas will say, "Yini yini, keni olisi me." That is, show gratitude to a helper so that he or she can do more. Recommendations and lessons for our society. Mr. Vice Chancellor, there is a great lesson to learn from the activities of the students. 1. The students' charitable activities are a reminder for us to play and enjoy life. Their propensity to hide knots is a lesson in being prepared. The way the student faces the daunting task of burying and later finding out teaches us that we have to face our problems as individuals and as a nation, instead of sitting on them. Sure, the student can sit down and wait for winter, hoping he can scout around for food by then, but instead, it prepares for it carefully and strategically. B. Do not depend on anyone. Whether your brother, sister, cousin, nephew, uncle, or auntie. Take a lesson from students. They often build second and even third homes near food sources and relocate their backup dwellings when they need to escape the threat of predators or to be closer to food. Perhaps we human beings should think more like squirrels and have backup plans for life emergencies we will face. Think about how you can build backup plans and escape hardships into your life. Besides, while doing all this, you also need to be prosocial by helping others. C. Build meaningful relationships. Students often scamper around and give chase to one another, up and down trees, jumping from one limb to limb and rolling about. But what do all these antics mean? It's all about relationships, and the intent of their chasing depends on the age and sex of the students involved. In addition, for humans, building relationships is an integral part of our development. Research demonstrates that building relationships promotes belongingness, social awareness, cooperation, fairness, and activity. It is also important that humans should try to adapt to change. Students are remarkably adaptable. They can be found in city parks and rural settings. So how adaptable are you? Remember, times change and you have to adapt. Save for the future. Students know they will face trying periods when food is scarce, particularly in early springtime around March. It is not uncommon for squirrels to die of starvation before their first birthday. The smart squirrels, however, says for the scripture, as human beings, we should learn this art by squirreling enough for our own retirement. With longer lifespan, rising healthcare costs, and greater responsibility for individuals to provide for our own retirement security, it is important for each of us to save, invest, and save again, not only in financial terms, but in human capabilities. Practicing frugal living will not make us workers forever and never enjoy the full retirement. Note that not everyone will love you. Because you are not perfect, squirrels have learned that not everyone is going to love them, so they have to love themselves. For this reason, they seek protection in parks where they share their common interests. As human beings, sit out the hands of those who welcome the company. Learn to appreciate your flaws as an integral part of you, and then get on with the business of living. As human beings, we need to love ourselves, doing our best to become a better person, but not undermining the feelings of others. If we do not lend a helping hand to someone today, that person will become someone tomorrow, and you may regret not to have helped that person when you had the opportunity. Finally, there is no doubt that our society needs social individuals to keep the society alive. Therefore, I encourage us to light another person's candle. It makes everywhere brighter without putting off the one we are holding. The case in Nigeria today is pathetic in such a way that the leaders have it and squander it without recourse to the unborn children. While other leaders in the Western world, with some few ones in Africa, are busy burying nuts, ours are busy swallowing all the nuts that is meant for all of us. There is no doubt that the future of Nigerian youth is already mortgaged. Our youth are growing through adversity, yet the bright future is not certain. I think Nigeria should bury nuts that will eventually germinate for everyone to benefit from. Acknowledgement. Mr. Vice Chancellor, remember I mentioned earlier that the rate was rough. It was very rough because my sister was instructed by my father to take me to start primary school. Never expected I would complete the primary education. She uttered it in an exchange with her friend who also brought her younger sister to the same school, that Mumu Ile now was Lewe Oyale Pari. She brought me to start the elementary school whether I would be able to complete primary education. This never had any meaning to me then until later in life. Therefore, permit me to start this acknowledgement by thanking my Creator, my Lord, my refuge, my strength, my song, my portion and God, my God, my glory, my hiding place, my God and my all, my treasure, my Father, my justification, my righteousness, my sanctification, my defense, my provider, and my salvation. He has been my everything, God Almighty. His name will continually be praised. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have spoken about the importance of burying nuts, like squirrels. As part of my pro-social activity, I have started an endowment fund in my church at home to cater for some indigent students who are unable to pay their West African school certificate school fees. This I made in honor of my mother. We started helping the students in 2015, and as God lives, it will continue. The coordinator of the foundation, Mr. Adeshinu, who has been doing a great job, is also here today. I thank him too. There is the saying that a finger that wipes your tear away during hard times is greater than the 1,000 arms that clap for your success. For this reason, let me start my appreciation from those God used to assist me to get to this stage of my life. Permit me, therefore, Mr. Vice, to appreciate my maternal uncles, Jacob Adeleke, Moses Adeleke, and Noah Adeleke of blessed memory, and their wives. The contributions of INAUGURAL Adeleke and Johnson Adeleke are also appreciated. I'm indebted to my elder brother, Mr. Ademola Folabi, who took care of me in Ibadan. I especially thank his wife, Atika, who asked me to come and stay with them, and also counseled me to open an account to save my salaries. Here, I need to also thank my father here, Chief AAUA is here. Papa, may God continue to strengthen you. He is the then principal of Ibadan Baptist Grammar School, who offered me an admission to that school. I especially appreciate the contribution of my late father, Pastor Joseph Omoto Afolabi, who passed on to glory on January 8, 1982. He was my gist partner, my friend, my confidant, and my mentor. He was a great black, tall, and handsome gentleman. He was very strong, hardworking, and a great philosopher who predicted in one of our discussions that he saw me address a large gathering of people. I also appreciate the General Overseer and Vicar of the European African Church, and all members of the church for their answered prayers. The same way I appreciate Venerable A.S. Olani and all members of Christ African Church Cathedral for their unflinching support for me in prayer, while appreciating the staff of Anglican College of Commerce. I also thank Pastor Samuel Omondini of Jesus Lord Evangelistic Ministry of Venerable Samuel Fulani, Reverend S. Olokune, Reverend Ajayi, and all members of St. James African Church, Akubakoko. They are all wonderful. Let me not forget some friends and cousins who also stood by me when things were wrong. They included Prince and Mrs. Theodore Fomola, Mrs. Moji Adegoki, Mr. and Mrs. Sunday Kolade, Mrs. Fomola Adegoteleda, Mr. Sunday Fashola, Sheku and Tinobe Oni, Right Reverend and Mrs. K. Olani, Lai Adeleke, Ademola Gilbert, Femi Olofi, Banji, and so many others too numerous to mention here. I thank my classmates and special friends at the Department of Psychology there at the University of Ibadan. They include Emmanuel Adewara, Bayo Olifan, Sunday Olantokun, Kalde Adetono, Polami Adeye, and others. We shared our food and the little money we had together to survive. I wish to thank the executive and all members of the Nigerian Psychological Association, led by Professor Andy Zamani, who made me a fellow of the association. I will not forget my lecturers at the University of Ibadan, who rewarded me in preparation for the challenges ahead of me. They include the Emeritus Gizi Ugwebu, Professor Bola Udube, Professor S.K. Balogun, Professor Ejo Oshinowo, Professor Gbenga Sumola, Professor S.E. Demudian, all other lecturers in the department. I wish to thank my good friend, Professor David Kurame, who also assisted during my PhD work. One man I cannot easily forget is here with me today. He is Professor Benjamin Osayawo Ehige and the wife. Please rise for recognition, sir. This is the man who supervised my PhD work at the University of Ibadan. I am grateful to him especially because he agreed to supervise me, not because only that, but because of that academic relationship established that gave him the opportunity to always go to his house freely to disturb his sleep. He is humble, progressive, and cerebral. In addition, the first article I published offshore was through his effort. He is my mentor and not my tormentor. May God continue to do that. I also wish to thank the African Cultural Association, Kwara Diocese, for their prayers, their work. Especially, I recognize the late Evangelist Goika Olawale Femi Ayodeji, and Prince S.S. Adogboye, who encouraged and supported me to go to EPUMA. God bless you. Let me also appreciate the foreign individuals who have played the role of a father or mother to me when I was at EPUMA. They include Professor Ben Aigoga, Professor and Mrs. Sam Nyamikudu, Professor and Mrs. Danny Aigomia, and Professor A.N.T. Ebuapon. Mama is here, please rise for recognition. This is Professor A.N.T. Ebuapon. That's my former who gave me a soft. Thank you so much. Let me not forget my people in the Department of Psychology, AAUA, which include H.O. Imonde, A.O. Additional, Alki Awosola, and Alki Awosola. Working with them afforded me a great opportunity to learn many things about life that is helping me today. I appreciate them. I also thank Mr. and Mrs. Francis Akinbitre for being my good friend for years. Another group that made my stay at EPUMA enjoyable is Egbeomo Yoruba EPUMA, led by Pa Jehu Usasona and late Mr. Ole Usasona. I enjoyed the Lord showed to me, especially by this leader. May Baba continue to enjoy his retirement while I pray God to grant Mr. Ogusola eternal rest. Permit me also to thank my colleagues here, my wonderful people in the Department of Pure and Applied Psychology. They include Dr. Mrs. Stella Abiodun Olowodwe. That's my auntie Jody. She's busy somewhere there. Dr. Ojedogun, Dr. Mrs. Shagun Martins, Dr. Uchenna Onoa, Dr. Mrs. Adepeju Mbamila, Dr. Anthony Gbero Balogun, Dr. Adeshi, Dr. Mrs. Janet Uluwase Olaseni, Dr. Mrs. Akintola, and Mrs. Damilola Adebayo. I enjoy your cooperation and support at all time. May God continue to keep the psychology family. In doing this, I wish to thank Professor Felix Oluwakerere for being on my neck to move to AAUA. He encouraged me in all ways. May he continue to enjoy his retirement. My special appreciation also goes to Professor Mrs. Oluyemisi Adebowale, Professor C. Ikaramola. Can you please rise, sir? Please. Mama, please rise. Let them see you. Let them see you. She's a wonderful woman and proud photographer, including Professor Mrs. O.P. Omoeti. These wonderful parents were members of the panel that reviewed me for the position of the professor. Despite the challenges of time and several constraints as a result of their busy and tight schedule, these ones stood their ground. The meeting was postponed twice and when it eventually ended. I thank God who used them and others who found my publications worthy for further external assistance. God bless you too. Here, let me recognize all professors, all the deans, directors, heads of department and units, all staff, both academic and academic support of this university. I appreciate everyone for your support at all times. In summary, I thank all members of the university community. God bless you. I thank Professor Mrs. Mire and Dr. Mrs. Mary Odupe-Faswati, who followed me to my hometown during my professorial Thanksgiving. They also assisted to make the program a success. May God continue to keep them healthy and bless them. Let me also use this opportunity to thank other academic staff who graced the occasion. They are Dr. S.O. Akimole, Bayo Patukasi, Chief Yimoyan, Ole Folami, G.O. Wageni, H.S. Iwu, W.T. Otako, Kola Oguweye, Layi Olajipo, Bayo Pasmo, Abiola Oluboyo, and many of my former students. I also appreciate all the members of the committees that I set up for this purpose. They include Dr. Benson Doyle, A. Olonchaki, Daniel Ikomola, Kiski Imo, Jude Akomolafe, Otimi Ogunwemi, Lani Oluwadeyemi, Austin Oshola, Santos Alimi, Kayode Ogunwade, Paul Ogboko, Kola Olaniyan, Victor Akipelumi, Mrs. C. S. Adejohnson, O.E. Bekoyi, O.E. Eludoyin, Yomi Olaseni, Bukola Faloyi, K.S. Igbebebe, Yomi Olusa, Uba Dennis, Mrs. Femi, Seyi Aladewoni, D. DJ Akiwumi, and all staff of ICTAN. They include also those who have worked with me before. They include Princess Adelola, Mrs. A. Mrs. Olariwaju Samika, Mrs. Aladi, Mrs. Ayeni, Mrs. Bridget Ayegusi, Mrs. Nigeria, Daudu, Mrs. Timbebore, Mrs. Boyseti Olania, Mrs. Akiola, Mrs. Osafo, Miss Mary Ayedo. These acknowledgements will not be complete if I fail to mention the contributions of Professor Beda Ibe, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, who incidentally is the chairman of the ceremonials committee. Without his inputs and support, I wouldn't have been here today. I appreciate your role, sir. Let me also thank Professor Francis Borel, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, the Acting Registrar, Mr. Okolu Akifewa, the University Bossa, Ms. Obi Ologun, and the University Librarian, Dr. Rotimi Ebudobi. God bless you all. I especially appreciate my first friends here at Akuba, Dr. Bolale Ogunbamila, and I Chief Doctor and Chief Mrs. Olusegun Owulewa. These ones have made my stay here enjoyable by playing the role of brothers. They have also encouraged me in preparation for this lecture. God bless you. I especially recognize the special interest and the trust the Vice Chancellor, Professor Amos Ibekele Ajibefun, has in me. Since he assumed duty here, he has shown that he believes in my capabilities to turn things around and do it better. Let me also mention it here that he made me a professor. And this is the reason we are here today. May God continue to bless the work of your hands because you are bearing us in me. Thank you so much, sir. I wish to especially appreciate my younger sister, Ms. Grace Badiji and Mrs. Sumulayo Adeoye. They have been so wonderful in their moral and spiritual support for me in prayer. I wish to also especially recognize my cousin, Pastor and Mrs. Abiodun Adeleke. Can you please rise for recognition? Pastor and Mrs. Abiodun Adeleke. Thank you so much, sir. This was also stood by me throughout my secondary school and university days. I remember that whenever I was going back to school, the wife always gave me food stuff to say, "But everyone got food stuff. Come and take food stuff so that you can survive." Thank you. God will continue to strengthen you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, very important persons I must recognize here today and always are Reverend Dr. and Mrs. Michael Olariwaju Apolami. That's my father. Please rise up for recognition wherever you are. Reverend Dr. and Mrs. Apolami. Though my elder brother was the one who served as my father since my father died long time ago. Sir, this man struggled to make sure myself and my younger sister and I were educated. He provided all we needed within his capabilities and at the same time taking care of our mother. I appreciate his wife for not discouraging from assisting us. May God grant you something for the in Jesus' name. Finally, I wish to appreciate my mother, Princess Adedu Mola. As a widow, she struggled alone to provide for all my needs and those of my younger ones. She was a rice seller, hawking in primary school. Besides, she went through persecution, tribulation, insults, and psychological torture just because she was the third and the last wife of my father. She endured because of all. One particular experience came to mind when I was in university. I came home to collect money to complete my undergraduate project. My mother had no money. She went to a popular rich woman who was also a member of our church law firm. She waited for hours between 12 and 4 p.m. for the woman to wake up from sleep. By the time the woman woke up and ready to listen to my mom, she asked her maid to tell my mother to come outside when the rich man was at the veranda of her upstairs. My mother knelt down while she was pleading with her to lend her the sum of 250 naira only to pay for the typing of her son's final year project. The rich woman told my mother that her house was not a bank, and therefore she would not assist her. My mother was still on her knees for about 15 minutes, thinking that the rich woman would at least give her something, if not all she requested. She never knew the woman had left her in the sun until her maid told my mother that her mistress had gone back to sleep. Another serious psychological torture of my mother was when I demanded for pocket money from her, but she had no money. She just went inside as if she was going to bring the money. I later got to know she was weeping inside her room. I thank God for giving her sound health. Today, people call her Mama Professor. And to the glory of God, she's growing younger every day. She turned 93 years in February. Finally, sir, I do not want to take your time any longer, but you permit me to recognize one beautiful angel here today. The person is the most beautiful, most humble, and the sweetest of all women. She is Mrs. Florence Fumilayo Omogola Ajobe Akoladi. She is my friend, sister, confidant, prayer warrior, and the mother of our wonderful children. I thank her for the unflinching support in all ways and for taking care of the home without complaint. Please sit down. My wonderful children are also here. Oluyemisi, yes, so Ogbeyinka, Ololade, and Adeola. As I sing this song, please you write and sing this song with me. I'm praising all day of Broadway, new life and day, new life every day, bring my heart, all of distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is my story. This is my song. Thank you all for that.
Let's put our hands together. I want to say something.
Bàbá tó bí ọlọ́mọ
when I'm supposed to have told him the sixth time. I now have the honor to invite Mr. Visi to close the ceremony. Close. Mr. Visi, sir.
We want to recognize some of our dignitaries. We have here with us today His Royal Majesty Ọba Isaac Sunday Adeleye Ajimotu Adale Akoba. It is also my pleasure to recognize Professor Benjamin and his wife. Professor Benjamin supervised Professor Afolabi back in the dimension today. Thank you, Prof. We have with us today the Right Reverend K.A. and Olaniyi, Bishop African Church, Yewa Diocese. We also have Venerable Dele Ola Opeyemi Gio Iyeru of African Church. We have Chief A.A. Moro Foda Akomo Fofa. We also have High Chief Asalofo Asalofa of High Chief Adesegun and the wife of the inaugural lecturer, Mrs. Fumbe Afolabi. Congratulations. We also recognize the family of the inaugural lecturer, Professor Afolabi. You are all welcome. Thank you and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the program, the 15th inaugural lecture of Again, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, good people of this university, we say thank you for coming. We thank the school anthem and the national anthem. And after that, we all remain standing until the Vice Chancellor presentation will be report. Thank you. Okay, let me quickly take this announcement for the national anthem. All principal officers, deans, directors, HODs, professors should proceed to the Mass Communication Plantation Center for light refreshment. Also, all guests of the inaugural lecturer should please converge at the university guest house for entertainment. Also, students should go to ETF 750 for their entertainment. With it, contest the national anthem. let's keep standing. Let's remain standing as the Vice Chancellor leads the hall in reverse order.
I'll be fine.